ISIS terrorists taking responsibility for even more deadly violence. It was a somber day of mourning in Beirut, Lebanon today as families defiantly filled the streets to say goodbye to their loved ones. Killed in twin suicide bombings yesterday. At least 43 people were killed. More than 200 were wounded. CNN senior international correspondent Clarissa Ward is in Beirut. She visited the blast site earlier today.
This is the scene where that second suicide bomber detonated his explosive vest. More than 40 people were killed and more than 200 injured. And if you walk around here, you can see the streets here are still covered with broken glass and the blood of all this attack. Now, ISIS is claiming responsibility, they say, because this is a Shiite Muslim neighborhood, and most of the people living here support Hezbollah. And actually, if you look at these yellow flags around this neighborhood, these are the flags of Hezbollah, and Hezbollah has been fighting with the regime of Bashar al-Assad inside Syria in that country's civil war.
And Clarissa joins me now live. Clarissa, what's the mood in Beirut tonight?
Well, Jake, the mood is somber, but I would also say there's a great deal of anxiety. This is the first time in nearly 2 years that we've seen an attack of this magnitude here inside Lebanon. And beyond that, this is really the first time we've seen ISIS claiming responsibility so stridently for such a bloody attack. And if you look at the language that ISIS used, Jake, in their claim of responsibility, they weren't making demands. They weren't saying, you must do this and then we'll do that. They were just basically declaring war. They were saying, we will continue to attack these Shiite neighborhoods wherever we find them, as long as this continues. There was no sense of, if you do this, we'll back off. No give and take. So people here in Lebanon, they've been through their sectarian problems over the years, had a long, long civil war, more than a decade long here. And so there's a great deal of apprehension that Lebanon could be going down that road again.
And Clarissa, Lebanon, as you mentioned, it's a stronghold of Hezbollah. It's a political party also considered by the U.S. to be a terrorist group. How is Hezbollah vowing to respond to ISIS?
Well, this is, again, what is fueling people's fears here, Jake. Hezbollah is showing no signs of saying, OK, let's pull back from the brink, or let's talk about this, or let's try to avert, further violence. In fact, they're saying, and I quote, brace yourself for a long war. And that has many people here deeply concerned. What you're seeing across this region, Jake, really is ISIS trying to capitalize on countries that are already racked and plagued by sectarian divisions and fan the flames of that sectarian hatred with the hopes of creating chaos that they can then exploit.
Clarissa Ward, live in Beirut, Lebanon. Stay safe. Great reporting. Thank you.